Crazy. It's a lot of like everyone's got a different point. It seems like it does group into stuff.
We're
but, like,
live.
a lot of different stuff.
How we doing, guys?
Fantastic.
We're doing all right. How we doing today? Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good evening, good night. Good afternoon.
Hey, whenever you listen to this.
Wherever the fuck you're listening.
Are you staying on for this? You're going to stay down here? Perfect.
Yeah,
No, I was going to say, you can keep up with the comments if some people...
Hey, keep up with the
keep up with the comment. Well, I didn't know if you were going to go back upstairs or not. Yeah, all right. So we're live in the pit episode...
324. All right.
Can we confirm?
No, it's in the
424.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to give it to you. We're going to give it to you.
2 to 3 numbers, correct.
424.
There was 3 numbers in the fucking thing. That's all I give a
That's
shit
right.
about. All right.
That's right.
Gee Louise.
Gee Louise.
All right. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let's take that stay up. That's all right. Make sure you like and subscribe. Turn your notifications on. Simon's got the comments, so make sure you flood the comments. You want to tell us anything? You want us to talk about something? Dante's going to read off the comments that he's got in there. Obviously, we're probably going to be talking about the Celtics game for quite a little bit. Fucking my shit fucking looked better than they played last night, but that's all right. And, yeah, make sure you guys feed me an animal fact at the end of the day. Simon will tell me something, and then I will present the animal fact of the day today. So,
Let's go.
without further ado, let's get this shit on the road. Dante, tell them what's coming out today or tomorrow or whenever.
Well, I got some good news for you guys. Well, maybe not good news. No video tonight. We got nothing dropping tonight.
Nice. Oh, nice.
But
Yeah,
we
that's
do.
good news. Yeah.
Great.
Nice. Yeah,
Great
great.
news.
Nice.
You guys get the night off. Don't worry. You just
Great
gotta
news.
listen to us today.
Great
Tomorrow we do have a video dropping. We have excuse me, the beer pong tournament finale coming out tomorrow at 5 p.m. and also on the Mustache Bros Wrestling channel. We have which match has the higher star rating. So make sure to check that out. Head over to our YouTube channels, put on those notification bells, subscribe, like all that good stuff so you can get the videos as soon as they come out. You don't have to get the reminder from me.
Yeah, she's not your mother.
He's not, guys, I'm not your mother. And I'm
Even
not
though
your
he
father.
might have her hair.
And I'm definitely not your father. But thank you guys so much for joining, listening to us. Obviously, if you listen to us now, that means that you are on our Patreon with us. I'm sure we have the usual suspects in the comments right now. If I had to guess, we have Amanda, Sonny, Dwayne Bacon.
Dwayne Bacon, correct.
Who else we got in there?
Thank you.
We got. I see some comment from the corner. I see we got some people in there. So if you want to be just like those 3 and many other people as well, you can get behind. You can get behind the paywall. Head over to our Patreon, patreon.com/Lumberland. You can join us Monday, Wednesday, Friday live here on Patreon. You can be a part of the conversation, put in your comments, questions, all that stuff. Tell us what you want us to talk about. Because we are men of the people here and women. Sophie isn't on the show, but we are men and women of the people, of course. And yeah,
Discriminate.
can't discriminate. It's 2022. What are we doing? But yeah, so that's that. That's all we gotta say. I hope you guys enjoy the show. And
Before you do your topic real
yeah,
quick,
what
I
do you
don't
got?
mean to
No,
get
no,
you
no,
off
no, no.
here.
What do you got
This
next?
is Simon's first show with the Patreon. So our Patreon viewers, this is Simon. He's part of the team now. Little shout out to Simon.
Shout
real
out
quick.
Simon. We don't got a camera. We don't got a camera on him. But
I am here.
He's a looker, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you.
Gorgeous.
Something.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Check
I
out
mean,
the YouTube live.
If you
stream.
check him out, I mean, just wrap him in.
I wrap him in and wrap it up, if you know what I mean. Wrap him in, wrap him up. So I was home on Friday, worked from home, and I saw In the Pit was live on YouTube. So
I ain't showing
give it
you
a
too
look.
much that day.
I'd give it a look. On Friday, too? This past Friday?
I don't think there was that.
This
No,
Friday.
it's
Oh,
the
I thought he was
Friday.
talking about 2 Fridays ago. It was
Two
pretty
Fridays
bad.
ago, I roasted.
It was
2
a week.
Fridays ago, I
Two
roasted.
weekends in
I
a
roasted
row.
your
Come
ass.
on.
It was
I roasted.
horrible.
Yeah, check if you want to see what Simon looks like. Check out the live from Friday. I checked it out and I'm like, woo! I was like, I gotta close this down. It's getting a little too hot in here.
Laptop just blew up.
Laptop blew up. This is actually a brand new laptop. I had to go to the Apple store yesterday and get a new one. But
be the first.
Wouldn't,
Humbly,
believe me,
objectively.
wasn't the first. Won't be the last. But yeah, so Simon will be observing the questions today. So keep it PG, guys. And all right, want to talk about some stuff?
Let's talk about those fucking green.
Okay, let me say something. I wasn't here on Friday, so I have a few things to say about the Thursday night game, if you don't mind.
Please.
Really
It's okay.
quick, just really
I'd rather
quick.
talk
Get it
about
off.
the Thursday
Get it
night
off your
game
chest.
I'm gonna get it off
please.
my
Get it
chest.
off your
I don't
chest.
know what you guys talked about. You don't have to remind me. I'm sure it was all good things about the Celtics.
Unlike last night.
Because they won by 12, had probably one of the best quarters of basketball I've ever seen in my life. Had 40 points in the third quarter. So obviously we know Game 2 they lost. Series is tied 1-1. But what I took from Game 1 that I was most pleased about and what I was most encouraged about, I think is a better word, is the fact that they were able to beat Golden State when Jason Tatum had one of the worst shooting nights that he could have. Obviously, he had 13 assists, which is showing his growth, maturity, shots not falling. Find other ways to impact your team, your teammates, and he did a great job with that. Celtics were able to beat the Warriors by 12 on their home floor when Jason Tatum, their star player, shooting-wise, played like ass. So that encouraged me. It's like if you're able to take down the Warriors when your star player has that type of performance, you should feel really good about the next game, the following games.
Horford had a hell of a game, though.
Horford had a hell of a game. I mean, he's been I don't think it's really a hot take or anything like that to say Horford's been the Celtics' third best player this postseason. And you need games like that, to win. Didn't do it Game 2, but he did it Game 1. Derek White had a big Game 1 as well. And you need role players like Derek White, those someone other than your two superstars to step up. That's what happened. They won. Great first win. Now you get into last night's game, and Nick, you kind of touched up on it. A little bit of a 180. So the Celtics had first of all, they had 120 points scored in Game 1. They had 88 in Game 2. Lost 107-88, lost by 19 points, but they were down by like 30 at one point. So they got a little close towards the end, but
no problem going to bed early.
It was a 20-30 point game. I admittedly fell asleep at the middle of the third quarter, I believe.
I have an addiction,
15, 20
and
points.
it's called sports, and this addiction means I can't fall asleep if they're on. So I literally, if I close my eyes, I'll just open them to watch whatever's on. So sadly, I watched every second of the game.
I woke up.
Tough for you, buddy.
I fell asleep.
Like I
Last
said,
thing I
doctor.
remember, they were down by like 12 or 13, and then my eyes opened up, and they were down 30, and I was like, whoa, what just happened? But you had, on the Warriors side, Steph Curry had 29, 6 and 4, shot 9 for 21, nothing amazing. Not not perfect shooting, but just enough. And honestly, other than that, this is my first time looking at the stats. Jordan Poole had 17 off the bench, and then you had Kevon Looney had 12, Wiggins 11, Klay Thompson 11. To be completely honest with you, Curry,
How many did
Looney,
Curry end up with?
Curry had 29. Curry, Looney, and Poole were, besides those two, everyone else really didn't have
Poole
that.
didn't really even score till the
You
second
know what they
half.
did the
Yeah.
second game that I told? I said it on Friday, and they listened to me. I guess Steve Kerr listened to the podcast. They stopped playing that dumb idiot Andre Iguodala, who's just a waste of space on the court.
So,
He's not a dumb idiot. I think he's a good player. It's just he's a useless piece. He's a useless piece on the Warriors right now.
So Iguodala did not play last night because
Good.
he is hurt. That's what he was out. But I do agree.
Was he out or
No,
was
he was out. No, he was out. He had a
knee injury?
so I forget what the injury.
called being
kept him out.
old.
Some
Don't play if
injury.
you're old.
But I do
It's a young
agree
man's
that he
game.
shouldn't be playing. I think I don't know why they play Iguodala when they have Gary Payton on the bench. I think that's a much better
Or
option.
Bielinka. Bielinka's good too.
Anyone else? Yeah, I don't think Iguodala you can play him at this point. Good vet, but other than that, he doesn't really give you much. And on the Celtics side, Tatum had 28, 8 for 19 shooting, 6 for 9 from 3. The second most three-pointers made in the finals besides Ray Allen in 2010.
Let's get into those turnovers, Dante, shall we?
All right, so
Fucking turnovers.
as a team, they had 18 turnovers, and this was killing me in the first half. So they had 10, 11 turnovers in the first half. The Warriors had 45 points at half, I want to say, or they had 50. Almost half of those points were because of Boston turnovers, points off
Makes
turnovers.
I will say the Warriors were missing layups left and right in the freaking first half.
You had the Celtics had 19 total turnovers, and the Warriors had 33 points off turnovers. That's a third of
That's
their
annoying.
points. That's a third of their points. And between the turnovers, that you said the Warriors are missing layups, the Celtics are missing some shots. I never, ever blame this on a loss for any team because it's unfair. It's part of the game. It's natural. But like the refs last night, they were making some bad calls for both sides, but they were making, there was one call on Jalen. I'm just saying this because it's just the first thing I think of. It's like I think he fouled Gary Payton, and he
didn't touch him.
He didn't even touch him.
That was the.
It's
that was
like-
Mostly
bullshit.
people,
you know-
most people say that and they're like exaggerating, but he literally did
No,
not
he
make
didn't
contact
touch
with
him. And again, like it's part of the game. You're gonna have good calls. You're gonna have bad calls. There were some really bad calls last night. It's just it's
Draymond Green got away with murder.
So,
Draymond Green.
You want to get into that real quick?
He gets away with murder.
He should have gotten
Is
ejected.
it fair he
It's
gets
already in the
ref
comments.
differently than other players? Like, do you think Draymond Green gets a pass just because he's Draymond Green?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think he got a pass because he was Draymond Green. I think he got the pass because one start player in the finals. The NBA doesn't want to suspend,
not a star
eject
player.
him.
Let's not say star.
He is
He's
on the Warriors. He is that
He's their
they're a
fourth best
dynasty.
player.
He's a the Warriors are a dynasty. He's part of the dynasty, regardless. And I think since he had a tech earlier in the game and they didn't want to reject him, they weren't going to give him the second one. If he didn't have a tech the first time around, they would have given him and Jalen the double tech. But since he got one earlier, they weren't going to give him a second one because they didn't want him to be out of the game.
if that's any other
But
player,
that shouldn't be
yeah,
like
if that's
that.
any other player doing those antics and then they end it with like them putting their feet on another player's head, they're getting tossed probably.
Yeah, and
It's just annoying.
Draymond put out a tweet like 2 days before the game talking highly of Adam Silver, saying like best commissioner in sports, not even the best commissioner, one of the best minds
giving
in
the guy a head is
sports.
fucking helping you. Now,
The guy
isn't it?
goes on his
All right,
podcast,
I see how it is.
complains about
How is
everything,
that
every
not
call.
tampering? How is
Dude,
that not tampering?
It's I'm really hoping like Grant Williams or someone has like in the drafts right now, like Adam Silver. Love you, man. Can't wait to see you in Boston. I
Yeah.
don't just Draymond literally was sucking Adam Silver's dick, and I'm not saying that led to anything, but man, that's ridiculous. For a team that's won 3 championships in the past, they seem like a team that's very desperate. Saying
'cause I think
saying things like this to the media and all putting out these tweets, it's fucking ridiculous, dude. It's so annoying.
I'm convinced that last night's game. Don't get me wrong. Warriors are a great team. They've got great players. If they win it, they win it. Like anybody can win it this series. I believe that if the Celtics do not play their type of game, they won't win. It won't be because the Warriors are that much better than them. I'm convinced after watching last night, all those freaking turnovers.
Yeah.
You can't win games turning the ball over that much. You can't do it.
The 3 losses Boston had Miami, they had the turnovers. I think it was, if I recall correctly, it was 13, 18, and 21 turnovers in each of the 3 games.
in their fucking third quarter.
And
Suck.
and here's the thing. I've been saying this after every loss. We've come on this show. We've had conversations in the office. Celtics lose. They look like ass. It's like, all right, well, is it over? I don't know. They are 6-0 in the postseason after a loss. They have not given me a reason to not believe that they can bounce back after a tough loss. And I think
You talking about the Warriors? Or you
the
talking about
Celtics. Well, all right. So
Celtics.
Celtics are 6-0. Warriors are 5-0 as
Someone's
well
gotta lose.
after a loss. So something's got to give, or nothing gives. And if it goes if it keeps going back and forth, Celtics win the championship. I'd be fine with that. But you can't convince me otherwise.
Heart attack for most of Game 7.
Most
Oh
of
my
these
God.
most of these losses, dude. So they've lost 6 games so far, 7 games. They've lost 7 games so far, and honestly, like 2 of those games, 5 of those losses, I think you can blame a lot of it on themselves, like turnovers, stupid fouls, like Tatum having shit games. Like they do a lot of these things themselves, like the points off turnovers, like that stuff is so fixable, and I believe that they will fix it next game. So that's why I'm still confident in them. At the end of the day, they went to Golden State, they won game 1, they tie it up, going back to Boston. That's all you got to do. That's all you had to do in the first 2 games. They did the job.
Oh, you just need a split.
Now
All
you
need
got
was
to
a split.
go into Boston again. If you walk out of that with the split, that's fine. But they did their job. It's game 1 and 2.
If it's Dante and I were talking about this earlier. If they don't at least go 2-2 back to Golden State, they're fucked.
If they go,
They're fucked.
if
They go 3-1, they're
if
fucked.
they
There's
go
no
back-
way we drop both of them at home.
I don't.
Oh
They're
my
fucked.
god.
If they lose both
I know
games
we're
at
a
home,
bad
then they're
home
losing.
team right now, but oh my god.
They've been so shaky at home lately.
The Celtics are nasty on the road.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They're 1 win away from
I
breaking the
felt more
record.
confidence with the series starting
Dude,
in Golden State.
I'm so fine
1000%.
playing on the road. I'd rather play on
Yeah.
the road every game, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
This team is so weird.
But yeah, so they have their work cut out for them. I mean, everyone's going to be there on Wednesday. No one's going to be hurt. Robert Williams
Williams is
you
hurt.
can.
He's
He's not
fucking hurt.
100%.
Jason Tatum holds the back of his left shoulder every third play and
I guess he
grimaces.
got a stinger
again
against
same
my.
spot.
Well, I think it's just bothering him still.
If this wasn't the playoffs, there'd be a lot of guys on both teams that would not be playing.
100%. Yeah. I mean, listen, the Celtics are. I think it'll be game 103 for them on Wednesday. It's a lot of games. It's a lot of season.
Here's the thing. There's this big talk, and on that Richard Jefferson TikTok, I don't know if you. I
Oh,
just
of
said,
course.
fuck it. He was talking about the final, so I said, well, I was looking at our TikTok with him. I just said, I'm going to scroll up to the next one, and he was talking about how people want to, shorten the season.
Oh, you know what? Let's talk
Why?
about that. Let's talk about that.
Why?
So the biggest reason why they want to shorten the season, or players want to, fans, whatever, is because of injuries. More games lead to more injuries. Less wear and tear on players. They've been talking about taking out. They were thinking about going from 82 to 72 games and replacing that with like an in-season tournament or something like that. Because in the pandemic year, when they were in the bubble, they had to cut off 10 games, shortened season. So it was 72
those
games.
extra 10 games, people would have got cold.
So people were saying like, oh, they did the 72 games. Like, look how well it did, blah, blah, blah. But if you I think Richard Jefferson said this, and it was a very good point. So sure, you have the 82-game season.
This guy called me Vinny.
He did. I thought that was pretty fucking funny.
Call me fucking Vinny.
What, Vinny,
I told-
Vinny Jersey Shore, you think? Or just Italian? Like cousin
I
Vinny
don't know,
or something
but I
like
fucking
that?
told Johnny I want to respond.
You should.
Fucking
You
call
should.
me Vinny.
We'll take care of that. Richard Jefferson, we're going to get you back.
You can duet a duet. Or
I
go
think
over
so.
a duet.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll go fucking send it right to him.
But Rich Jefferson made a great point. So you have a normal 82-game season. We're saying no late start, no early start, mid-October to mid-June, right? When they did the pandemic year, they cut it down to 72 games. But if you look at when they had to start versus when they finished, so they started the season late the second year, after the pandemic year. So they had 72 games because the season started in December. So it was a shortened season, but it was more condensed, if that makes sense. So instead of starting in mid-October, you start in mid-December, and you still end the same time. So yes, it's 10 fewer games, but you're just playing those fewer games in a shorter time frame. So it really doesn't make the whole injury argument doesn't make sense.
Well, here's the thing. The NBA playoffs are too fucking long. They're too long.
You think they're too?
They're too
Do you mean
long.
like
It's like too
Do you think
fucking
space in
long.
between?
Do you think
or
it should be like a
Come on.
5-game series and then a 7-game
I don't care
series?
about the 7-game series, but it's just too fucking
So
long.
all right, so I understand I understand completely.
The finals is ridiculous.
So I do believe that there's a lot of time in between games, but I don't know if they should change the best of 7, because you're talking, Josh. You're talking about like first round's like best of 5,
Yeah.
best of 5, then you build up to best of 7 because
Yeah.
they used to do that.
3,
You're-
5,
So they're doing
7.
baseball.
They used to do that in the 80s and the 90s, I believe.
They still do that in baseball.
I
First
think
round
baseball
spot.
does that, and I think since the season is so long in the NBA, in like 82 games, like each game, in a way matters, for seeding and stuff. I think it would be kind of, I don't want to say unfair. It would just be odd if you play all those 82 games just for you to be eliminated in maybe 3. There's an argument to be made in fixing something with the playoffs, but I don't know if shortening the series is the answer to that. But I think for sure they're going to look into shortening finding ways that they can shorten the
Shortening
season.
season's not gonna make a fucking difference
If
on
it
anything.
does happen, it's not going to happen for years. And here's my biggest reason why, and you guys can touch on this as well when I'm done, because I don't want to say everything here. But my biggest reason why I don't want to shorten the season, because it messes with history, it messes with stats, it messes with records. So when I say that, let's just say hypothetically, most points in a season. In an 82-game season, no one's gonna be able to break that in a 72-game season. So you kind
No
of
one's
like,
gonna be able to break that anyways.
well,
right?
no, I'm just using that as like an
No, I
example.
see what you mean.
But like a normal record. So let's just say threes in a season. Steph Curry 400 threes. No one's gonna break that in 10 less games. So that record
Yep.
will be unbreakable
Yep.
now because you're not giving
And
players.
you can't change stats to adjust
and
it.
you can't
yeah.
change
yeah,
stats.
I agree.
So that's my biggest thing, because now you're just gonna have like players averaging this much, scoring this much, blah blah, and you can't compare
I
them.
guess my
to older
argument, or
seasons.
not my argument, my solution would be the shortening the playoffs. Because if you're playing you're playing 4 playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
then why not like the point where it matters the most? Just shorten the amount of games there. So if you have to play those guys anyways, they're not playing as much.
Right. Yeah, I definitely think there's something there. There's something there that they can do to.
Guys take off during the regular season all the time.
And
mean, you
Richard
hear-
Jefferson, him and Kendrick Perkins said that too. They're like, okay, So players want to shorten the season, too much on their legs, all that, blah, 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 blah. It's 2022. The technology nowadays for injuries, recovery, so much different than it was years ago. And 2 and 3, look at how much money they get paid and look at how much time they take off during the year. Superstars, like, most superstars are going to miss 10 games a season just because they resting, whatever, right? So you're already working around 70, 75 games as it is, and you're getting paid $50 million a year, bro. Some of these guys, man,
really
I'd want to play 82 games if I'm getting paid $50 million a year. Are you kidding me? Also, incentives, because players have incentives in their contracts, so you got to change all that stuff now. It's a lot. There's so people don't understand like the idea of it shortening the season. It's so much easier said than done. There's so much that goes into it that you have to change. It's not an overnight thing. This is something that would take years to do, and I don't see it happening anytime soon. So that's my thoughts.
I concur.
That was a lot. So I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I talked a lot there.
It's all right.
When
we have our NBA.
I felt
personnel in here.
that was an emotional answer. All right. So let's stick with the NBA. Quinn Snyder, Utah Jazz head coach, out after 8
Good.
seasons. Second most winningest coach in Utah history, I believe, behind Jerry Sloan,
The
R.I.P.
GOAT.
And now that Quinn Snyder's gone, Donovan Mitchell is left, quote unquote, unsettled and unnerved with his departure.
He didn't care one single time when Quinn Snyder was there, bro. He didn't say one time, like, if they fire Quinn Snyder, I'm out or anything. He wasn't speaking up for Quinn when he was there, so don't tell me now that he's gone you're feeling unsettled. He's just going to use that as a way to get himself out of Utah.
And since this happened, all we've been hearing rumors of are
LeBron.
Donovan. What?
He's going to go to LeBron.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
we
gonna
could
go
go to
see-
LeBron.
Yeah.
Rumors of what's next for Donovan Mitchell. Will he be in a
Knicks.
Utah Jazz jersey next year? You said the Knicks.
The Knicks picking up a lot of steam.
He's
All right.
going to LeBron.
What? All right. Hypothetical trade package. Knicks for for Donovan.
See, that would take some critical thinking.
Okay.
Because their drafts suck
A lot.
generally. So
A lot of draft picks,
I'll
probably
get
some
back to
young
that.
guys.
Yeah, a lot of draft capital.
Because-
Mitchell's 25, 26.
Yeah, you probably put like a Emmanuel Quickly in there, like a Mitchell
Yeah,
Robinson.
Quickly would
You
have to be
definitely.
in there.
I don't know if they'd give up Mitchell Robinson.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you want Donovan Mitchell, you got to give up. You got to give up some
But
guys.
they already have
Need some
Gobert.
proven dudes.
That's true. Well, it depends what the. I guess that would depend if they get rid of Gobert too. Go all young.
Completely
Mitchell wouldn't be
rebuild.
bad. Well, I have said that the Jazz, the last thing they'll do is trade Mitchell. So if they trade Mitchell, they're going full rebuild. They're not. If Mitchell isn't in Utah next year, Rudy Gobert isn't in Utah either. But if Rudy Gobert isn't in Utah next year, that doesn't mean Donovan won't be there. But yeah, so I guess the question is, what do you think is going to happen now with Donovan Mitchell? Do you think he's gone? Do you think he played his last game in Utah, or how do you think this rides out? You said Knicks, Simon.
That's my gut.
Do you think
feeling.
that's going to happen this offseason, or like it'll happen in the future?
Either this offseason or by the deadline? I think
Okay.
him in Utah has run its course, and that's a horrible market for an NBA superstar of his caliber to be in,
All right,
objectively. So
Josh, what do you think?
Sorry, I'm yawning. I think he's definitely exactly. I think he's leaving. I think he's all but out. Quinn Snyder was
you
the
said that he played his last game. in
yeah. I
Utah.
said that a while ago before I knew the Quinn Snyder news. But Quinn Snyder is just the first domino for that team to fall down. They're a team that's on the down and down rather than the up and the up. And there's a few of them right now. The Phoenix Suns might be one of them next if they lose Chris Paul soon, because you're going into what $45 million on Chris Paul this year, and then he's gone.
Aiton pending free agent too.
Yeah, and then like I don't know. Where can Utah even go? Even if you keep Mitchell and Gobert, what do you if you perfect season? You bring in the right guy, coach wise. You keep all your superstars happy, and you bring someone else in. Are you still gonna make a run at the West? Probably not. Lakers reload, Clippers reload, Suns reload. They're all still better than you. I don't know. There's nowhere to go.
The Lakers are going to reload.
All right, but
They got no fucking.
We'll
got
see.
no
Well,
money.
okay.
as long as LeBron's running the show,
I think it's just one of those.
LeBron
could it
runs
get
the
much
show.
worse than it was this year?
For the Lakers?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
it
I'm
couldn't have
saying.
gone worse. It literally could not
No,
have
that's
gone
what I'm
worse.
saying.
Yeah,
So
it
it's like
literally
they
could not
got to
have
be a
gone
little
worse
better
than what
next
it did
year. And
for
the
Lakers.
Clippers, I mean, if we're being honest with you,
Well, a
I
little
hope.
better still ain't gonna cut it.
If we're being honest with you, the Clippers
The Clippers
should
could
be
win the West
favorite
next
to
year.
win the West. to
Clippers
be
could win the West
completely
next year. They're
honest
so
with you.
deep, and they didn't have both their best
People are
players.
gonna forget how good Kawhi was when he comes back, and he's gonna tear it up. I think they're gonna be
hope.
nasty.
I
I hope
hope.
too.
I hope.
Nick, do you have any thoughts on Donovan Mitchell? Where you think he'll end up?
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
All right.
Send him to the G League. I'm just fucking.
I mean, the only so the teams that we're hearing that make sense. I think New York and Miami are the top two teams. Then you hear stuff like the Lakers going to LeBron and stuff, which would be a little trickier to make happen, but definitely possible.
Still do it.
I think he's going to go to Miami. I think
Butler needs help.
Butler,
Bad.
you can give him kind of similar with the Knicks, talking about trade package. I think they got young guys like Tyler Hero. I think would
They
be
could put some
They'd
better
give up
together.
Tyler
could
Hero
put-
to the Jazz.
yeah, which would be awful for Hero, but I think that would be
Poor
the
guy.
best.
Oh my God.
That would be that would
That's
be
one of those
gross.
things where if
Could
you're
you
Tyler
imagine?
Hero, you made your value too much. You played too good, bro.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't play as well, the Miami might be a little more inclined to be like, oh, we might keep him. Like, he's
Well,
not that
because
good.
now
Like,
Hero-
he can't get us that much.
Hero's starting to now it's his 4th year. He's like, I don't want to be on the bench anymore. He wants to
he's
be a
looking to
starter. So there's going to be something to give there. But I think the Heat could put together some good packages. I mean, who doesn't want to be down in Miami? Donovan Mitchell would have no problem going down there. Him, Butler, and Bam would be nasty. So I think that's what'll happen.
I also think Butler might have run his course in Miami, too.
I don't. So going back to your Jazz point, like what do the Jazz do?
Younger.
Butler's getting older, absolutely. So you bring in someone like Mitchell, you know that's your replacement for him. But the Jazz, I mean, they were a great regular season team for 3 years, and couldn't do it, couldn't get the job done. And there's no way. I think this last year was the best it was going to get. I don't think they can win with this team, and I think ownership knows that now. And yeah, it's going to be a weird offseason for them.
we
They
need
need
to come
another
up with
shot
a
creator
name.
back.
Yeah.
We need to come up with a name for like runs like these, where it was like they were mediocre but they were 1 seeds. There was a time when the Jazz was a 1 seed and dominating the West in the regular season, but everyone in the world knew
Wanted
they
to play
weren't going to
them
win
in
a
the playoffs,
championship.
Yeah.
But like, we see this all the time. The Hawks used to do it with Horford and Paul Millsap.
The Pacers were
old
like
Jazz
that
used to
for a
do it.
little
The
bit.
Pacers used to do it. The Kings used to do it a little bit. Like, a lot of these guys don't really have what it's made of, and that's just being like
Celtics have been doing it for the last like 5 years.
Yeah,
to be
Celtics
honest
did it with
you.
Isaiah Thomas. The Raptors did it with DeMar and Kyle.
Right.
Yeah, all these guys,
Just like
they're all frauds. I'm
good
gonna call them frauds. That's what we'll call
Yeah,
them.
they're a good regular season teams, but no one cares about the regular season. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the Jazz do. Donovan Mitchell as well. And since we kind of touched up on it a little bit, you brought it up, Simon, about DeAndre Ayton being a free agent. So there was a report going out today that it's looking more likely than not that Ayton won't be back in Phoenix next year.
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me.
It seems like whatever happened between him and upper management, whatever conversations were had,
They didn't like it.
it doesn't seem fixable. They don't want to give him the money that he, in my opinion, deserves. For whatever reason,
They'll end up doing a signing trade.
they don't want to keep it together. They don't want to keep the group. I don't know. I don't know what's going through Phoenix.
I think that's what I think you just said it. They don't want to keep that group together. They're like, all right, we got to do something different, and we're not getting rid of Booker or
guess.
CP.
But
so we
like,
gotta
you
do
only
something.
had like 2 years of this, and like you can bring everyone back next year and give it another shot. And if it doesn't
to
work
lose
next year,
to the Clippers.
I know, but like it's different. Like you're giving up early on it. Like there's still something you can make something happen, but it's like you're giving up on it if you're getting rid of Ayton because I don't know what they get back for him.
I mean,
You can't
Who's going to go in there that's better
because
than Ayton?
and here's the issue: since he's on his rookie deal and he's not a free agent until next offseason, so they can't do a sign and trade because it would be an extension. That contract doesn't start till next offseason. They have to find someone to trade with that makes similar money, and he doesn't make a lot. So that's going to make a trade very hard to work. So they're going to either go very young or just load up on picks. And find someone else in free agency, just like a fine starting center, but no one great. They're going to have to figure it out, too. The NBA, I think, is going to have an interesting offseason. I think there's going to be a lot of movement this offseason.
Off the top of
More
my
than
head,
people think.
I just thought of something. This is really weird side thought. Not weird side thought, but NBA side thought.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Kawhi Leonard is top 50 all time right now?
50?
If he retired tomorrow.
I think there's a fair argument to be made. Yeah.
I don't think you could tell the story of the NBA without like involving Kawhi Leonard a little bit. He hits one of the craziest shots ever, gets the Raptors their only championship, and he's MVP and has to guard LeBron when LeBron's in his prime.
Yeah, I mean, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time Finals
Yeah.
MVP, one Finals MVP
One
on
of the
2
clutchest
teams.
players in
One of the
history.
clutchest players. Yeah, I think top 50 for sure.
Yeah,
I think that's a
he's
fair
I was thinking
argument.
about it if he retired. If he was like those shock retirements, like a Brandon Roy retirement.
Right,
like,
right.
Oh my God, like Kawhi's calling it quits tomorrow. Like he's still top 50. He's
Yeah,
still
He's
there.
done enough.
Yeah, I'd put him top 50.
Yeah.
That's
He
fair.
benefits
So
of.
he's top 50. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think if he
100%.
retired tomorrow, he'd be in the Hall of
Oh
Fame.
yeah, 1st
Mhm.
ballot.
I agree with that.
I don't think it's whether he's a Hall of Famer. I think it's whether he makes top 50. And there's guys in top 50 that just like did not do what he did, where he was the best player on like a team and brought
Right.
them a championship.
I mean, he's got time too. He comes back from this injury.
if he brings the Clippers a championship, which would be their only championship, also, you write him in as a top 25 player. That's two franchises.
say,
he brings
three.
their own championship.
I was gonna
no,
say-
the Spurs have
Well,
had championships before he was there. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, 3 franchises though.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah,
but, like,
if he-
there's 2 of them that never had a championship before. Raptors and
Yeah,
Clippers have
yeah.
never won one.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
he's like the
That's
cornerstone
crazy
of their
legacy
franchise.
stuff.
even
Like,
if he
if-
didn't win,
If you think about it, like if he wins a championship with the Clippers, and you know how like players in like their history they'll always be like, oh, who's the best player all time on the Clippers? The Clippers would be like Kawhi Leonard. The Spurs probably would say Duncan. They wouldn't say Kawhi Leonard.
Can't not say.
Yeah, it would be
Duncan, top
Duncan
10
or
all time,
Robinson.
yeah.
I was thinking Duncan or Robinson.
Raptors?
But then the
I'll
Raptors
tell
would
you
also
what.
probably say Kawhi too.
I don't know if I would put
You're
him
gonna
the
put him in
best.
front of Vince
but
Carter?
Oh yeah,
I'll tell
Vince
you,
Carter was a
but-
phony.
so I'm not-
I am not on the Vince Carter
I'm
train.
saying no, but I do think it's. I mean, you could convince me he's the best because he's the 1 year he went to Toronto, they won their only
Exactly.
championship
And then he pieced.
in franchise history. That's so.
And
That's
it
such
was
a
Jordan-esque.
that's a
He was
G
crazy.
mood, bro. You get traded somewhere you didn't want to go. You're like, all right,
Yeah,
I'll play
San Antonio
here.
was really like, fuck you, like, you want to hold out on us, we'll send you to Siberia. And he's like, all right, I'll win Siberia a championship.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I have so much respect for that, and then he left.
He was my favorite player until this recent nonsense with his uncle and like holding out and like not playing much recently.
Uncle Dennis,
Who's this?
Kawhi.
Kawhi?
Yeah.
That's the thing I got a problem with. He seems like a fucking head case.
Yeah, it's starting to seem like that right now, which sucks.
I think he just thinks a lot of himself. He seems like he's a quiet diva. He doesn't say much. but
That's a
he's
good way to say
he's
it. He is a
diva.
quiet
Good way
diva.
to say it.
Yeah.
And you know who he's with that gets a horrible rap but isn't a diva is Paul George. Paul George is not a diva. He'll play through injury. He'll play through anything.
Right.
But like, the guy gets a horrible rap, playoff P and all that shit.
100%.
Poor dude.
Pandemic P.
Pandemic P. Yeah.
All right.
R.I.P.
All right.
R.I.P. All right. Anyone have anything else to add for the NBA before we move on? We've only been talking about it for 30
Oh,
minutes.
next year we didn't talk about it either. Jamal Murray when he comes back and Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah,
That Nuggets team
Nuggets
will be nice
are going to
too.
be good too.
Yeah.
That Nuggets team will. It could be quick, but that Nuggets team will be disgusting.
Okay, fuck it. I'm gonna bring
do
up
you
one
got?
more topic
What
about
do
the
you got?
NBA here. Fuck it.
What do you got?
If the Celtics win the championship or do not win the championship,
Mm-hmm.
do you think they are aggressive this offseason?
That's a good point.
They'll be aggressive in looking for veterans. They're not going to
Yeah,
go
not
for
with the
another
core.
star.
Yeah, yeah.
They're gonna. So everyone's under contract going back next year. It's already been rumored. It's gonna be confirmed. They're gonna pick up Horford's contract, which obviously no shocker. Grant and Peyton they can get extensions this offseason, so they could give them an extension, but they won't be free agents until next offseason. In my opinion, they should give them the money this offseason, so no one tries to give them money in the next offseason. You have to match it because then it gets a little messy. So they could do that. If anything, I can see them packaging a few bench guys, just getting some more vets. That's it. They can bring everyone back. You don't really need to change anything. I was big on going after a guy like Bradley Beal. Now I'm all set on him now.
Yeah, we'd have to give up too much to get Bradley.
You don't
Beal.
need him.
What if you could sign him via free agency? What if Tatum talks in the zero lot?
Well, see, that's the issue. They can't do that. They have no money. They have no
Oh,
money.
I thought you meant they can't. I was gonna say.
No. They can do like sign
sign
and trades and stuff. But at this point, if you're gonna,
What if they?
all right, let me do this for you. If you're realistic, Bradley Beal trade, you're giving up Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, 1 or 2 more young bench pieces, and like 2 or 3 first-round picks,
Damn.
and you're not doing that. So that's not gonna happen.
You're not getting rid of the.
I don't know if we're
defensive
giving up
player.
that much though.
I
don't know if the Wizards are that good.
I don't
Like, I
know.
literally don't think the Wizards
you're
can
gonna
negotiate
give
that.
up
I think they could negotiate Marcus Smart, a couple first round picks, and maybe Robert Williams.
Well, that's the other thing too. Money needs to match. Marcus makes 19 mil. Bradley Beal is going to sign for 45. So you got to make it more. You have to make. That's why I'm saying realistic.
Bradley Beal's so
matching salary.
overpaid.
That's
Oh
why
my
it's not going to
God.
happen. That's why it's not going to happen.
It's frustrating.
I think Bradley Beal.
We can't go into the luxury and just do that like the other two who fucking do it every year. The
It's
Lakers
it's
and the
the
Warriors.
only. I think the only way that works is if you're already on the team and you give them
Yeah, I know
that
what you
money.
mean.
Like you can't trade for it and stuff. Because that's like with the Warriors. The reason why they were in the luxury was because they're paying all these guys money, but they were in the system for a long time, so they can just go over.
That's
So
what
yeah.
happens when you draft well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
They're
a
being rewarded
problem.
now.
It's a problem, but not the worst problem to have. All right, moving on from the NBA.
Yeah,
Let's
that was
talk
only 37 minutes.
a few other sports
said it was gonna be
topics.
long.
All right, have you guys heard of the Drake curse before?
Of course.
Drake curse. What do we
Drake
got on
curse.
it?
Or he like roots for like teams to win a championship or something, and then the complete opposite happens.
So let me guess. He's rooting for the Celtics.
So he had the New York Rangers and the Golden State Warriors in a parlay last night to win $1.6 million. Now, obviously, the Golden State Warriors, they won last
They
night,
held up their end.
but the Rangers, they were up 2-0 in the they were up 2-0 in the series. They were up 2-0 last night, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the Lightning went on a 3-0 run, winning the game, last second goal with a minute left. So, because of that, the parlay did not hit, and Drake did not win $1.6 million. And this is not the first time it has happened as well. I believe there are memes and stuff of him like with the Kentucky college basketball team and stuff like that when he was like wearing their jersey and stuff like that.
That
saying-
shit was crazy.
that was
and
ridiculous.
he took layup lines.
Yeah,
with him.
that's a grown ass man doing stuff like that. That's wild. Like Alabama and stuff like that. He has a track. Let me see if I can find a track record of the Drake curse. Because I
He
wonder.
did it with Duke UNC this past Final
Duke,
Four, picking
UNC.
Duke.
Oh my God, Drake curse,
That was
complete history
classic.
and its victims. All right, Serena Williams. I guess he's put money on her before and she lost. Johnny Manziel and Andrew Wiggins had a lot of stock in them. They did not pan out.
Wiggins might win a championship.
Good.
It's not over.
Golden
because of
State
him, though.
Warriors. Oh, he had Conor McGregor when he fought Khabib. He was all over Conor McGregor. Khabib won. Crimson Tide when they played in the national championship. Yeah, this guy, if he's publicizing what team he's taking or bet he's taking, pick the other team. It seems like that's where your money's at. And yeah, all right. So we got that. All right, we got some Elon Musk news.
Elon Tusk.
Twitter. He threatens to walk away from Twitter bid over refusal to give info about spam bots. All right. Let's
So
see.
he is officially not bought in this shit, right?
He's put in an offer officially, but no transaction has gone through, nothing, because he's holding out on some information about Twitter that could affect how much it's actually worth.
Interesting.
Because I guess
He ain't a dumb guy.
Because I guess the
Can't believe
company is like valuing themselves like, oh, we have this many accounts with this many real people, and he's just like,
That's so
most of
fake.
these people
Yeah.
are bots.
Yeah.
Like, I want proof that all these people are actually real, and Twitter refuses to give him proof. He's been asking for this for a month now, and because he put in his offer over a month ago, and they won't give him the information, so he hasn't finalized it. And he believes 229 million accounts on Twitter are fake.
I believe that.
And honestly, I believe that as well.
Instagram's even worse.
I bet it is. So because of all of this, he's like, I'm not going to pay that much if there's that many fake accounts. Basically, they're trying to screw him over. So he's just holding out.
Oh yeah.
That's basically what it is. And I don't blame him. I mean, listen, $44 billion.
44 million. 44 billion.
Billion.
Really?
I'd have to work a few more years to get paid that much money.
Peel
So
a few mugs to get that much.
He's got the he's
Killing
got the
fucking mugs for fucking 20 billion lifetimes.
He's got the upper hand on me here. He's got a head start, so he better make sure this thing goes through before I jump in on it. But yeah, so Twitter isn't going anywhere anytime soon because of that right now. But that's that. I'm just looking at extra topics right now on this account. Apparently, this woman won $43 million on a broken slot machine, but the casino is refusing to pay her because the machine was broken.
Do you know how
I would
baloney
kill
I would be.
someone.
Also,
I'd kill
okay,
someone.
hear me out.
Yeah,
Dante.
I'd
You
kill
and I go to
someone.
the casino a lot. I would stop way before 44 million.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm assuming that casino, she just kept playing it. That's why it's broken and she kept winning. That's fishy as fuck. I'm stopping after I win like 50 grand. I'm like, all right, like,
yeah.
because they're gonna at some point they're gonna be like, you've taken too much from us. You're not getting all this money. I'm stopping where I know I can at least bring home some money. Like,
Oh,
the-
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, if
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
hitting it like 3 times in a row, hitting the jackpot 3 times in a row, I'm done. Like, I
gotta
don't
know
need
when
a
to
4th
cash out.
jackpot. What's that money doing for me in the grand scheme of
Yeah.
things that they're just gonna take it away from me?
Okay, so apparently this happened 5 years ago, but this was just settled recently that they're not giving her the money. So she sued the. Okay, so they said to her they went through this whole process of figuring out what happened with the machine. It malfunctioned, no actual winnings,
That ain't her fault.
and after 5 years, the casino said we're ruling it as a malfunction, not giving you money, and now she's suing them. Right, so. That's what the headline is. She is suing
Sure, a
them.
lawyer is
right
fucking
now.
eating this up and spitting it out.
I think you just kind of be like, give me like 20-25%, let's call it. Something like, give me 10 mil.
Oh, I'd walk away if they gave me $10 million. All right, see
I'd
you
be
later.
so fine with that. Oh, and also,
I could walk away with $1 million.
ju-
All right, sure.
just to add to it, instead of giving her the $43 million, they offered her a steak dinner instead.
That's crazy.
A steak dinner?
I would slap.
Give me the steak knife so I can carve your fucking heart out.
Yeah, I'd be
That's
like,
crazy.
give me the knife. I'll take care
A
of it.
steak. I just imagine the conversation the guy has to have. Like, you want me to go in there and tell her a steak dinner, and he's like, a steak dinner. For 46
He's about to
million.
walk out. He's like, turns around and goes, a steak dinner?
You're talking steak dinner, right?
All right, I'll tell her. I don't know if she'll like it.
If she
but-
hits me, she hits me.
Oh my god.
That steak better be singing to me angelically. or
Oh my
something.
god.
Take your steak
That
dinner and
steak
shove
better-
your fucking ass.
That steak better bring me my wife, a winning lottery ticket, a $1 million house, and a new Tesla. That's what that steak should be bringing me. But all right. So we're moving on from that. We have a video. Massive fire in an aluminum factory. I actually heard
Hi, Kevin.
about this. I heard about. I didn't see this.
Look at deer
Okay.
in headlights.
Literally.
So
What the heck is this?
a fire in an aluminum factory. Oh.
Y'all better get out of there.
Oh. Oh shit.
Damn, that shit goes up quick.
Oh boy, wait, I feel like there's one more big Oh, there it is. Holy
Do you
shit.
feel how hot it must be if it's like white?
Oh my. Oh, there
Feeling
it goes. All right.
Do you see how quickly that happened?
Holy-
shit.
You realize those guys were minutes, not even their seconds from.
Yeah, yeah. They got out of there right when they had to. Wow. Okay. So
That video just gets worse and
Okay.
worse and worse and worse.
yeah, it does. So anyone that is on Twitter, on social media, JD Christopher on Twitter tweeted out the video of a fire in an aluminum factory. Holy crap. So I guess it was a failure at an aluminum extrusion line. Looks like an overpressure event, and the oil itself opens a portal to a demon dimension is the caption. That's awesome. No injuries, thank God, but
Where are you
wow.
on Stranger Things?
I didn't get to watch episode 4. I was way too drunk when I got home.
You hate me.
Was not going to watch that on Saturday.
All
I'll
right,
watch
all
it
right.
tonight.
All right, all right.
I'm going to watch it tonight.
Watch Stranger Things, everyone.
I'm
This
gonna-
season's amazing.
I'm going to watch it as soon as I get home. But yeah, watch Stranger Things, guys. It is. I'm only 3 episodes into the new season, but I'm a big fan of it so far. So, but all right. So we got that fire. What else do we got here? Oh, make sure. I don't know if they're in the comments already, but guys, it's animal fact of the day, and Nick needs an animal. So make sure you guys get that in there. We'll pick one.
Get this man an animal.
Speaking of
Um,
animal, this probably ain't in the topics.
what do you got?
Doc Gantle got arrested on Friday.
No.
Yep.
For what?
Money laundering.
No.
Yep.
Money laundering.
Good old
he
Doc.
doesn't look like a guy that would do that.
Money laundering.
Interesting.
Tiger King star Doc Gantle arrested for money laundering. He's
You
in
think-
court right now.
You think you know a guy?
Well, they've been saying it. They've been saying he's a fucking scumbag.
Yeah. I don't really know much. I haven't heard too much about him.
Yeah. Got a great place, though. I got to give it to him.
Yeah.
I went there last year. Got a great place.
Oh,
The F Safari. Yep.
Oh, you went to that one?
I did.
Oh, I didn't know you did that.
Boom.
Oh, that's where it was at?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. That's when you went when you were
Myrtle
in
Beach
Myrtle
last year.
Beach. Gotcha. Okay. All right, so this happened today. So this is a new topic. I don't know if you guys heard of this, but the Denver Broncos got sold for $4.5 billion.
To who?
An
ownership
Rob
group?
Walton, he is the heir to Walmart, apparently.
Oh.
Who to Walmart?
The heir. So he's like next in line to like take over
Oh,
like, all of Walmart
shit.
and stuff.
Yeah, so
I
the
don't know if
biggest
it's
conglomerate
Sun or
in the
something
entire
like that.
country, yeah.
So
bad, kid.
back in 2021, Jeff Bezos was eyeing the franchise. Magic Johnson put a group together a few years ago. Nothing happened. And then,
Bezos could buy any fucking team he wants.
so today at 3 p.m. Oh, he could buy every team.
It's not a question of if.
Him
it's a
and
question of
Elon
wants.
Musk could buy every team in sports. Like
Could you
every
imagine a
single
guy
team.
just owning everything? Oh, it'd be Vince McMahon's XFL, I guess.
Yeah.
Fucking 29 teams suck at one.
Yeah, I was about to say, just make an all-star team and root for that team. It'd be crazy.
NBA, you just put all the best players on one team, your favorite team growing up.
Yeah, who's gonna tell him no? He's the one that approves everything. So last month, the Broncos set a deadline for when people could bid, which was today at 3 p.m. So, guys, if we want to put together some money,
All right, let's go 4.6 billion.
we could. I'm just
Let's do
saying, AJ, content. We'll put it on the card.
4.6 billion. That fucking card would
The receipt on that thing.
just keep it. it'd be longer than a CVS receipt. I got a pet peeve. Real quick
Just give a
about that.
give a pet peeve.
Y'all have been to CVS before, obviously, right?
Of course.
course.
I was
You
there
ever
this
gotten
weekend.
a receipt from them before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
They're long, bro. They're a novel.
they give you like 4,000 coupons, and half of them are like woman shit. It's like, what the fuck am I gonna use this shit for?
Good old
Give it to Juliet. Come on.
Oh yeah.
But this guy, Rob Walton, Rob Walton, he is worth an estimated $60 billion. He put in the offer and ensured Denver ownership that he will become their new owner because his offer will go through. No one's going to offer more than him. And they were only worth, so last year they were estimated to be worth $3.75 billion, and he paid 4.5. So it became the largest amount of money to ever move hands in a transaction concerning the sale of a sports team. So no one has ever bought a sports team for more money. Not to say that there aren't sports teams more valued, but this is the
Just
first.
tells you how much the Patriots. It would never happen, obviously, but if Robert Kraft had
So the Patriots, they're worth at least like $5 bill, right? You probably think, all right, so if it was 3.75, went for 4. You think Robert Kraft probably sell for like $6 bill or something like that, or
he'll
roughly
never
$6
do
billion?
that.
No, he won't, but
never do
he definitely could. A lot of money. Even a team like the Cowboys, like I mean, I think this just kind of shows that like you have like ideas of how much franchises are worth, but if you get the right bidder and you got other guys going at it, you
Some
could
guys just want it.
you could get a franchise $1 billion more than what it's valued at. That's nuts. And then one last topic before we get into the animal fact. This is a movie topic, so Josh, I'm
excited.
counting on you right now. Morbius got re-released in the
Yes.
theaters and did awful, shockingly. So what went wrong, Josh? And what's so
so
bad about the movie?
The reason it got re-released was because it was like memed into existence. So if all the people who sadly went and saw Morbius, it's like an awful movie, one of the worst movies in the world.
Jared Leto, right?
Jared Leto, yeah. And it's so bad that like Jared Leto, you know how when something's really, really, really bad, that it becomes kind of meta bad, like the actors and the directors know how bad it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of like the ending of Game of Thrones,
Uh-huh.
like the actors are like, yeah, we know it sucks, like we're sorry. It's kind of like this. Jared Leto literally realizes how bad Morbius was.
Tough.
And like they're making jokes about doing a second one, blah, blah, blah. But so the theaters and they see numbers and algorithms. So they see all these people talking about and trending Morbius. Every day it's trending on Twitter. And they're like, we got to put this back in theaters if everyone's going to go see it. And little do they realize people were just talking about it.
I was
'cause
going to say, are they clueless?
yeah,
They're
well, I
trending
guess
for
so.
the wrong reasons.
They put it back in theaters. It bombs. $85,000 total across the entire nation.
That's ridiculous.
That's I saw something that was like less than 12 cents a ticket per theater, something like that. It's crazy. It's insane.
That's bad. Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right. So, hey, it's still out, guys. Don't take Josh's word for it. See it for yourself. Put
Yeah,
some
please
money in.
don't take my word for
Put
it.
some extra money in Jared Leto's pocket. All right. The guy needs some help. All right. So that's all we got. Simon, do we have any animals in the comments?
We have two.
All right. What do we got?
Two very different animals. It's going to be interesting. We got a stingray and we got a bear.
Okay.
Doesn't specify which type of bear.
Do we have names to go with? Who requested those?
We got Jimbo for stingray.
Jimbo.
And we got Sunny for bear.
Okay.
Sunny. The Sun Bear.
The sun.
Sunny Bear.
There you go.
The Sun Bear.
There you go.
The Sun Bear.
There you go. Don't even have to think about it.
That was a fucking layup.
There we go. It's a layup.
Layup.
We'll do
Sun
that.
Bear.
We'll do the Sun Bear. Sun Bear fun facts. All right. All right. The Sun Bear. The Sun Bear is the smallest, most study. I got nothing there.
What?
Arboreal.
Arboreal?
Arboreal.
Yeah.
Arboreal. What the fuck
Ow.
that means?
What is
This
a-
means woodland based.
How the fuck do you know that shit?
I take some science classes back in the day.
Yeah, I did too. You think I fucking remember
oh,
that
yeah.
crap?
Animal like living in trees and stuff like
Okay.
that.
All right, sounds good. And least studied bear. It is the second rarest bear behind the great panda.
The
Their-
great panda.
The
that's
great
his name.
panda.
Wow.
Their name comes from the pale horseshoe shape of their chest, which is said to resemble the setting or rising sun. No two markings are the same.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Are sun bears dangerous because they look awfully cute?
You saw one of those. I would not want to go near
Go
it.
the other way?
Yeah,
All
go
right.
the other way, or just quietly get the fuck out of there.
All right.
All right, here we go. The sun bear can be found in tropical forests of Southeast Asia.
Damn.
It is the smallest species of bear, with the length of 5 feet and weighing up to 150 pounds. This small size facilitates their. What's your word again? Admiral.
Arboreal.
Admiral. We're just gonna go with that.
Admiral.
Admiral.
Just go
I like
Admiral.
Admiral.
better.
Admiral lifestyle of moving about amidst the trees.
Living the admiral lifestyle.
The general of the seas.
Despite
awesome.
their name, sun bears are actually nocturnal, roaming the forest at night.
Interesting.
Yeah, look at that.
Wouldn't have known that.
Their fur is mostly black in color, apart from a crescent-like golden patch on their chest. According to the legend, this sun bear resembles the rising sun, hence the name sun bear.
Okay. Okay.
Their coat is well adapted for the tropical rainforest as it is short enough to prevent overheating, but is thick, of course, enough to protect against branches and rain.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What is the diet of a sun bear, you ask? Some bears are omnivores.
Oh.
Okay.
Good omnivore.
They're omnivores, consuming plant material like berries, roots, and fruits, as well as animals like insects, small birds, rodents, and lizards.
Okay. Ooh.
Honey is also an important component of their diet, snake, which they extract from bees' nests using their long tongues, snake, of their 25 centimeters in length. Their claws are also quite long, snake, and curved, which is useful for opening termite nests and climbing trees. They also have a superb sense of smell that they use to locate food.
Okay. You know, I found a lizard in my basement the other day.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you
Oh
freak out?
no! Yeah. I've never seen a lizard in my basement before. I had to get two cups and scoop it in and toss it outside.
Like a lizard?
Yeah, no, a legit lizard. It was like a baby one. It wasn't
Not
like
like a salamander.
no, it was a lizard. I looked. It was a lizard.
That's sick. I
Yeah,
would have kept it.
it was a
I would
lizard.
have kept it.
I didn't know what to do. I put it in the 2 cups. I'm like, it's like moving in the cups. I'm like, I don't know what to
Dante,
do.
people pay to have lizards, and you just gave yours away.
I put it right back outside.
Crazy
Right at its
man.
playground. Don't know how it got in my house, to be honest with you. Good thing none of my cats saw it. That would have been a fucking mess. My cat would have walked upstairs with a dead lizard in its mouth, gifting it to me. I'd be like, what do I do now?
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Oh, I thought it was Rory. Never mind.
Hey, no problem. Roy, bless you twice.
All right.
Okay?
There we go.
I thought it was Rory. Common mistake. Commandante L.
Yeah. All right. How do sun bears give birth, you ask? Some bears don't appear to have defined breeding seasons and generally give birth to one cub. Cubs are born in dens or in hollow trees and are blind and helpless at first. Am I missing something here?
What?
What?
Oh, I thought he was laughing. He was moving. I thought he was just laughing over there.
Oh no.
No, Colin,
Alright, yo,
Colin was laughing. He said
Gotcha.
something to you, and he just was laughing.
Colin was talking shit over there.
Shit to me, Colin?
Oh yeah.
After all this time?
Look at his face. It's all
Look
pink
at-
'cause
he's all red
scared.
now.
Yeah, he's all scared over there.
Parental care is important for the early life of these cubs, and they remain in their mothers for 2 years or more after birth.
Wait, what?
Excuse me?
They remain in their mothers after 2 years?
I read
What
that
did you
wrong.
say?
Hold on.
I have
Hold on.
many
They remain
questions.
with their mothers.
Ah.
sir. With their mothers.
They remain in their mothers for 2 years after they're born.
Let me back in there. Let me back.
Let me go back in
I don't
here.
like it out here. Put me back in. 2 more years.
It's dangerous in here. Let me go back in this.
It's a dangerous world out here.
All right. Are some bears endangered?
Oh, my God.
With estimated populations declining over 30% over the last 30 years, some bears are classified as vulnerable
All right.
on the IUCN Red
Me as
List
well.
of Threatened Species.
I'm also vulnerable.
I was about to say I am vulnerable also as a person.
What do you mean the sun bear have in common? We're both very vulnerable.
That's hysterical. Some bears occupy just a fraction of their former range, having been extirpated. Extirpated.
Extirpated?
Extirpated.
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 I don't know.
They've been exonerated.
They've-
There we go.
Keep it rolling.
They've been exonerated from many areas it originally occupied.
It's definitely saying extricated too. That's probably the word.
That is what
It's
it is.
extricated.
Yeah, it's extricated.
But it's got a P.
No, it's exonerated.
Oh, maybe.
Wait,
it's
is
not.
there?
I like
P?
exonerated.
Oh, maybe I misread it. It's exonerated.
Exonerated. All right, let's do last fact here, and then we'll. What the hell did I just walk into? I fucking sunbanned.
Awkward family photos. What the fuck?
All right. Let's learn about their main threats, and we'll call it a wrap. Here,
All right.
right. A major reason for the decline of the sun bear is destruction of the natural forest habitat, among every other fucking animal. Sounds great. Leading to increasingly fragmented populations. Disfortation can occur to make way for plantation of coffee, oil palms, and rubber plants. Another threat to sun bears is poaching, which is carried out to the harvest bear parts. This includes bear gallbladders and bile products, which are sold to be used in traditional Chinese medicine. This continues despite the lack of evidence that these have any medical benefits. As well as being hunted in the wild, some bears are also held in captivity for bile extraction. Over 10,000 are kept in cages on bile farms in China and subject to a cruel process of bile extraction,
Okay.
leading to infection and disease.
Interesting.
Animals in Asia is one organization that campaigns for end of bile farming. They take part in government lobbying, ask doctors and pharmacies not to prescribe bile-containing medicines, to operate on bears in sanctuaries where bears are rescued from farms and are rehabilitated.
Wow.
They
Okay.
live a horrible life.
Wow.
I'm sorry to say that about them.
Well,
That's
let's
just
be honest.
horrible.
A lot of animals live shitty lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
true.
Let's be honest. I mean,
It's a reality.
there's no reason why a 500-pound tiger should be in a fucking 10 by 12 cage.
The
right?
whales,
Completely
SeaWorld.
Ugh. You ever
Forget
seen
about
Blackfish?
No.
Disaster.
No.
Disaster. I'm being serious. Like disaster.
I can imagine.
Depressing. Absolutely. You ever seen Free Willy?
Yeah.
It's like that shit when they catch Free Willy and they fucking throw him in the tank. It's depressing as fuck.
Disgusting what people do.
Depressing.
All right. I think that's all we got.
today.
That's all we got. So, Nick,
Take
send
this
us home.
away. Sounds like a plan. All right, that does it for this show. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Turn those notifications on, like we said about an hour ago. We'll be back on Wednesday for Joke of the Day. And, yeah, that shit's a wrap.
Wait up.
Smell ya.
Fun.
Smell ya.